Hey y'all, welcome back. Well, today we're back in the shop and got a new attachment for the side-by-side that should help us with all of our spreading needs on our food plots. I've got a couple handheld spreaders and we've got one that goes on a tractor for down on my other leases, but for my personal leases, I would like to have a spreader that goes on my side-by-side. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to check out this Boss Buck 80-pound capacity UTV spreader, so y'all stay tuned. When I have never seen one of these, I've never known anybody use one of these, so we're going to open it up and see what kind of contents we got in here. It says here 80-pound capacity ATV UTV spreader. Comes with complete with wireless activation system, so this does have a wireless remote. I mean, you still got to hook it up to power on your side-by-side 12 volt, but it's supposed to be a beast. You can see here it's on a small tractor. You see there it's on a truck, and it's supposed to fit in a 2-inch receiver hitch. So we'll get this worked out and get this box open. All right, let's see now what we got. Ooh, nice powder coat. That is some cool looking powder coat. Love the color too. So need that. There's our wiring harness. And that will clip right in. I'll put a plug just like I did the boom sprayer. I'll do the same hookup on my switch panel so I can turn it on and off. But I can actually leave it on and use the remote. So look at this thing out and see what all it looks like. There's a receiver hitch. You always know when stuff's in packets, it's important. Oh. Looks like the motor. Bolts. That bag busted, but very well packaged. So down a little bit so you can see it. Pretty neat. Got a cool emblem, Boss Buck. Non-typical with 4-way connector, so you can put it on your truck and hook it up through your 4-way flat on your truck for like a trailer or something. That's pretty cool. We'll set this to the side. Open the rest of this. Always got to have you a handy dandy pocket knife. Ooh, that'll dull one quick. Point right in on that metal. I love the powder coat. It's pretty cool. So you got that piece, this piece, what looks like the spreader it is. The spreader bottom. It's got a nice shield on the back. That was one thing that worries me about spreaders and UTVs and ATVs is when you've got them mounted, if you're throwing fertilizer stuff and it gets down in your A-arm protectors and little coveys, the fertilizer seems after it gets wet it starts activating and starts tearing up your powder coat. So I was really hoping this had a shield. If not, I was going to add one. But anyway, looks pretty self-explanatory, but we are going to see if we can get in the instructions. So it's our little remote, little antenna. That's pretty cool. It's already got a battery in it. You can see it lights up, stop and go. All right. Look around and see if I can find some instructions. Here they are. So it looks like there's only a few pieces got to be bolted on. We'll get the assembling this thing. Now usually when I'm putting something together like this, my wife usually helps me. She kind of organizes the bolts, but she's not helping me today. So I'm going to show you what we normally do when we're putting something together. So as you can see here, I've got all my pieces laid out. I've got the container, the bracket, the 2-inch receiver, the motor, the motorized plate and everything for the bottom, and then everything is laid out by size. So I've got all my 10 millimeters here. These are a carriage bolt that's squared off to, as you can see, they fit in and just get a nut from this side. So these are the same size thread. I have 2 different size washers on each one. So I've got this size and this size. All my counts are right, my pieces. Anyway, everything is nice and organized to where everything is by the size it needs. I did go ahead and get out a 17 millimeter regular wrench and a socket, and of course the infamous 10 millimeter and 10 millimeter wrench. And of course I have both of those with a gear wrench too. So we're going to start off with step 1. I'll put it up in the corner and we're going to start putting this thing together. Okay, for step 1, after looking over the directions, it looks like, as you can see, there's a welded and flat side here, and you see the 2 bolt holes here and a bolt hole here that's going to hold your receiver hitch on. Well, you're going to want this. The picture's kind of deceiving. You're actually going to want that to set flat against it. So this automatically would have to go like so. So step 1, take your welded side, which is going to be the flat side that goes against your container, your big bucket, lay it down like so, just like it would be bolted to the back, and then you're going to take your receiver hitch, line it up with the holes, and snap it in place, just like so. You're going to take your 2 17, or they're actually, they're 17 millimeters, a 17 millimeter head, and you're going to put a washer on each side, run them through, get that motor out of the way so y'all can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to run the bolt all the way through. That one's going to be finicky. There we go. Alright, I'll get you another washer, put on this side. You're going to get you 2 17 millimeter lock nuts. Put them on. You're going to do this step first because you're going to have to stand it up to do the other one. So as you can see, I have, there we go, lock washer, nut, lock washer, lock nut, and bolts. I'm going to take my 17 millimeter, tighten her up. Okay, now that that is tight, I'm going to stand it up. I'm going to take the last 2 washers and a lock nut we have, and of course we're going to turn it. The way it looks like it's showing the nut to the face, but I'm going to turn the bolt out, put a washer through the back, just like so. I take that back, I know why they did it now. It's going to go this way so for clearance issues. So you're going to put it on the face, it's going to face the bucket. And then, so you got bolt, washer, washer on both sides, and your lock nut. And that completes step 1. Let's set that out. Okay, on step 2, as you can see here on the hopper, you got this flat plate, and it has the square holes in it. So, so for alignment issues, you know this scatter plate is going to be to the back of the hopper. See how it closes almost all the way off? So what you're going to do, you have these carriage bolts that are, you know, got the square for it to fit in. So you're going to go in just like this and seat it. You got 4 little washers. Going to go ahead and put one on, and then get you one of the 10mm lock nuts and get it started. Just like so. So we're going to do all 4 same way. And you're going to see really quick that adds a lot of weight to this hopper. So we're going to go ahead and get these on. So I won't bother you while I get all 4 of them in place, but we'll turn it back on. I'll bring you right back when I go to tighten them. Okay, now that I have my carriage bolt through the top. This is adjustable front and back. I am going to set it all the way forward, all the way to the face. And you've got 1 washer and your 10mm lock nut. Now this is going to be, I had to put a small driver on, but we'll retighten them here in a minute with a wrench. But we'll go ahead and get these tightened up. Yep. Okay. So we have all 4 tight. I'm going to go ahead and I've got a ratchet wrench here that will not work. Open face wrench. Ain't enough room. Make sure they're tight. Maybe I can get this box. Yeah, I can get that box on. It says make sure everything's tight. So I'll make sure it's tight. All right, that's the end of step 2. We'll move on to step 3, and this thing will just about be together. Now for step 3, it states in here that you're going to run the bolt and the washer through the back panel, the receiver hitch, through the back of the hopper or bucket, whatever you want to call it, and then have the bolts with the nuts and washers on the inside. So that's all we have left is our 10mm. We have no 17s left. So basically, you'll make sure you get a bolt and a washer. I'm going to go ahead and get a couple ready here just because this thing's going to be heavy once it gets started. And give me a couple nuts up here close. So grab your receiver hitch. I'm trying to get it to where I can balance it here on the table. Like so. I'll get one started. So you got your washer and bolt coming in from the outside. Put your washer on the inside. Put your nut on the inside. Now, I won't bother you with much more of these since this is going to be kind of awkward anyway to get it going. But we'll do 2 right here, and then I'll turn the camera back on here in a second and we'll finish tightening them. So there's 2 to hold it in place. That kind of gives you an idea of how this thing is going to bolt up. Okay, these are all in place, so I'll have to show you here. So we got, as you can see, bolt and washer all the way across. You get your 4, 6. It ends up with all, there was nothing extra come with it. And you can see here, washer and bolt all the way through, or bolt from the outside with a washer and nut on the inside. So there's all 6 of them. Now we're just going to tighten them up. So I'm going to set this thing up like so, and I want to make sure that this hopper is even on both sides because this is slotted. Just me for a viewing preference, I want to make sure that I'm not sticking out either end. So that's pretty square. Go ahead and get my wrench. And it moves. And bars are about too long. So I'll loosen it up and bump it over a little bit, and I'll tighten all these up and I'll show you what it looks like. That way I don't bore you with it. Okay, I've got them all tightened. As you can see, I have it even on both sides so that don't grab anybody or anybody get their hand cut on it. This is actually what you would run everything through. And then there is your power cord, your power clips. So we're going to go ahead and get this motor hooked up. These two together, like so. Okay, and then these I'm going to change to the clip that these clips that I've got on the back of the Pioneer, so I can work the switch ever how need be to turn it on and off. Even though I'll have the remote to activate it, I can still have power to it while I'm driving through the field. So next step, that completes all the steps. It did not come with a receiver hitch pin, so I'll grab a receiver hitch pin. Next step, we're doing a food plot at the end of this week. I will come back and video this thing on and it in action. So quick overview, everything is on, wiring is done. You've got your set here for open and close to ever how big your seat is. So I think we're going to be doing a lot of turnips and stuff here for very long, and that actually opens that diverter up and down. The diverter is manual for the seat here. So close all the way over, and then you just open it up to the desired size you want for the seed to spill out to shoot out the sides and the front. So that's the Boss Buck, ready to go and ready to be used. So we're getting rain coming Sunday. I want to put this Boss Buck to work. So I've got it on the side by side. Really loves the way it looks on there. 2-inch receiver here. It's got plenty of clearance. I've got it hooked up to my SB wooden weld connection. I've already got some Lucky Card 7 put in, 2 bags, enough to do a acre. And and I've got my little I'll show you right here. So I turn my switch on, my power accessory switch, and then come back here, got my little remote. I love this wireless remote. So I'm going to put this thing on a tripod, get it set to these oats and peas. I got to open it up pretty far, and then going to turn this in, or get this thing spreading right quick. Well, there you have it. The gate might be a little finicky when it's new, but I'm telling you, I done that in no time flat. That is, especially on the bigger seed, that thing did exceptionally well. So I highly recommend the Boss Buck, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully some of the instructions or the way I put it together helps you in some way. But drop a comment below what kind of food plots that you do, what kind of seed that you do. We can all learn from it. Also, what kind of seeders and stuff you use for your side-by-side, your ATV, or even hand spreaders. So drop all the info below, and that way everybody can look back over it. But we'll be watching for this food plot in deer season 2023. So I'll do an updated video after it starts to grow and get some water on it. Remember, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe and like, share, comment. It helps us out. It gets the word out about Piney Life. Hoping to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark before the first year. And we're rolling right along. We got about 1,500 more, and I think we'll get it before the first year. But anyway, if you ain't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And as always, God bless. We'll see you on the next video. See ya.